Welcome back to Insight. We are wrapping up our conversation with Aging and In-Home Services of Northeast Indiana. Katie and Keith are here, and as promised, we are going to discuss POST. I don't know exactly what that means.
So it stands for the Physician's Orders for Scope of Treatment form.
Okay.
It's relatively new in Indiana. It passed in 2013 to be used. Nationally, it's been around for quite a long time in different forms in different states. But this particular form is a medical order. So it's really different than the other advanced directives because it's something that can literally follow a patient from place to place. So for instance, many of our clients are at home. So if they have a POST form that's been filled out with their physician, that form is valid for them in their home, but then if they went into the hospital, maybe to a nursing facility for rehab and back home, the POST form can actually follow them in all of those settings. The form itself has some very specific details as far as the types of treatments they may or may not want. It addresses code status, so talking about restarting your heart.
Like DNR, that's what we all think about, DNRs.
Yes, exactly. So you can make those distinctions on there. It talks about artificial nutrition and hydration, talks about antibiotics. So it kind of covers the gamut of a lot of these medical interventions, and it allows the patient to fill it out, and then those wishes be carried if they're not able to make those decisions in a certain instance. So it's a really different type of form, and it really can provide a lot of benefit to patients who are particularly at home, but across the whole spectrum of care.
We talked a little bit, or mentioned it earlier, that our medical charts are online now. You know, everything's digital now. So is this something like that we would put digitally, or it just rests with our physician?
So the POST form should really be wherever that patient is.
Okay, so physically
with
we
them.
have it with
Correct.
the patient. Okay.
POST form is really important for like EMTs or emergency personnel to be able to access. So typically people will keep it with their medications, you know, on a countertop with kind of other important forms or different things, but it should be physically present with them. If they're traveling to dialysis or something like that, the POST form goes with them at all times.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, is this something that we need to have done through an attorney or done notarized?
No.
Yeah.
I will never do a medical procedure on anybody, okay?
Well, thank heaven for that.
So I tell my clients, this is like a living will on steroids. Because it covers a lot of different end-of-life situations. I tell my older male clients that take me out behind the barn and shoot me is not an accepted medical procedure in Indiana at the present time.
That's unfortunate.
But on the POST form, you can say very specifically what you want or don't want for end-of-life care. I actually have one of these forms right here. You see the pretty pink piece of paper.
It stands out, which is probably why it's on the pink, so that EMTs or whomever else could
So I had a client who came into my office and she said to me, because when do you know, you lose your job, you get a pink slip, you lose your life, you get a pink slip.
That was a very witty response.
Now there is a POST video out there that's very informative. So if anybody typed Indiana POST video, you'll go to the website. It's a 13-minute video and it explains clinically what do each one of these little lines mean. It's very informative and something the family can watch together and really learn from.
That probably helps maybe spur those conversations too.
Yeah, and that's really a really important piece of the POST form. It is a communication tool. So it should be based on a lengthy conversation with family, with physician. It's not something that somebody should just take and, just check boxes. It's really supposed to be based on an informed conversation because they're big decisions and big choices.
Absolutely.
And because it's a medical order, it will be followed if something were to happen and the patient couldn't speak.
And just like you said, it's good to have the conversation with everyone when you are dictating who your healthcare representative is. It's good to have the conversation with everyone so that feelings aren't hurt when they find out that mom didn't want to be resuscitated or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Have those conversations now. Where can we find this form?
So the IndianaPost.org website has the form on there. The Aging and In-Home Services website has it listed on there as well. And the Department of Health, Indiana Department of Health.
And we can contact you about ACP.
You can. So we have a brochure that we've created that covers all of this in just kind of a nice format. This is something that they can call into the agency and we can send them. And then my personal contact information is actually on the back if somebody has more specific questions.
And if somebody has a group that they have, Katie would be glad to go talk to them and kind of educate that group.
She is very good at that, I promise. So give them a call today if you have questions. We'll be right back.